What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. No need for no introduction. Tell all part 1. Let's get right into it. Now keep in mind the last resort was shot last March and April. This was shot in January, so this is probably the most recent current viewing of the cast that we have, and probably the first time they've all seen each other in give or take a year. That said, some things just never change. For example, Natalie being crazier than a can of tuna.
Good to see you, Natalie. How have you been?
Well, yeah, I have a lot of news to say, and I feel like it's a great time for me to tell all, on tell all.
Hate to break it to you, Natalie, but your storyline was probably the least enticing out of everybody else, and it would do me no harm in skipping your whole lore this season. Now that being said, in other ways, some things did change, and I hate to brag about this unique ability that I have, but your boy does have an S-tier photographic memory, specifically in the field of melons. And I can tell you right off the bat that Sophie looks like she had an evolution in that area.
Hello.
Hey, you look nice.
It is evolving.
Now Florian here, who has been very vocal about his disapproval of Gino and Jasmine's open marriage idea, was very curious as to how that was going, right? And Gino basically hinted to him what we already know now.
A lot of went down since then. When we got back, things started changing like pretty quick. I have some dirt that I'm gonna be bringing today, that's for sure.
And he didn't seem too shocked by that answer. If anything, he seemed justified by what he said. But then again, didn't take Nostradamus to see this one going down in flames.
It don't take a rocket scientist.
Now they start walking the cast out to the stage, and the first thing you'll notice is they have the girls sit on one side and the guys sit on the other side. And that's how you know TLC doesn't give a fuck about any of these relationships. Like, it's never been about therapy. Like, it's always been about the drama. Like, these people right here are pawns for our entertainment. And I love it. Now the second thing you'll notice is there's one person missing from the cast, and that is of course Jasmine.
Has anyone seen Jasmine this morning?
Nope, no. I have not.
It's okay, Sean. We're going to start without Jasmine.
Now, before we start, I want to point out, we noticed at the resort that the men and women naturally gravitated towards one another. So that's how they're arranged tonight.
Yeah, that's one way to put it, but if we're just being honest, the setup is made to manipulate the cast here to form tribes and go at each other's throat. I mean, that's pretty much the same tactics that's used on society today, with the race, gender, social status. But hey, I might just be going too deep here.
Always deep as it can get.
That aside, Sean right off the bat asked Gino, hey, we know Jasmine isn't here right now, but yeah, how have you two been?
Gino, how are things between the two of you?
Well, normally I come in here and I have good news for you, but today I don't.
You don't?
I do not. Jasmine and I, we separated.
Whoa.
I'm really sorry to hear that, Gino.
Now, I've seen a lot of comments come out and dog Sean for being a bad host. Like, people think she's a terrible host. Don't know when to change topics. Don't know when to push the questions. Can't control the cast. Like, guys, she literally has an earpiece in her ear with the production crew telling her exactly what she needs to do. Like, would I like for her to switch up some things? Sure, but we're not gonna sit here and downplay her talents now. That said, though, I also believe she doesn't give a fuck about any of these people.
I don't give a about none of them, to be honest.
Like, she's here to be cordial, grab the bag, and brr, which is probably the wisest thing you can do. Like, you can't be included in the drama and expect to stay a host for a very long time. Like, let's just keep it a buck. But I say that to say, it's just funny to me when she say things like, oh gosh, darn, I'm so sorry about that, Gino. No, what about you, Ari? The switch up is just crazy.
So if you are not filing for divorce, what is your relationship dynamic?
Open relationship or?
Don't say those words.
For Vinny, it's always been an open relationship. He's always had an open relationship.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Instigation 101.
He's always had an open relationship.
But no, let's keep it a buck. I don't even watch these two. Like, I don't even know who they were until this season. Like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, they're OGs, OGs. These two are filler episodes. To me, like, they're side characters. I could give a rat's ass about their lore, so we're just gonna skip them. That said, though, from the little minute sprinkle scenes that I've seen, I've come to the realization that Ari here is a habitual hypocrite. Like, she'll say one thing and literally do the complete opposite.
Vinny and I decided not to continue our relationship, but we are in a better place. I don't want to step on his toes or fight with him about anything.
Wait a minute.
He's always had an open relationship.
Ooh.
The guys are going to take Vinny's side, but they need to look at the facts and not let their judgment be clouded by their friendship.
Wait a minute.
It's exactly what I'm going through. I wouldn't say it's a fight. I would say it's Sophie telling the truth and somebody getting upset
Well,
about
I think we need to find out what the facts are.
Now, Sean moves over to Rob and Sophie, and last we know, they kind of parted ways.
Even though who you marry is not your dream man.
What the fuck are you talking about, man?
But apparently, as of recent, they're still 1 foot in, 1 foot out. They're not together, but they're still fornicating. You know? And probably the oddest part about this take was Josh self-inputting himself into the discussion and letting us know his recent fornication stories.
So after resort, we had like months of like no contact, didn't speak, just moving on with our lives. But after a few months, out of nowhere, we just started like having sex.
What?
Well, you know, it's a little funny too about this whole situation is me and Rob are really close. You know, I knew that, you know, Rob and Sophie were, as well as Natalie and I have been numerous times.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
You see what I mean? It was just a weird thing to spout out. Like, I get it, Josh, you know, we all do this. Every guy does this. In the cafeteria back in high school, not at 45. And I know Rob and Josh like to play up this bad boy persona and whatnot.
Ooh, ain't nothing a bad boy ain't been through before, though.
I'm gonna tell you right now, it is cringy de la cringe. Like, why can't you just be regular, bro? Like just be regular you. You're cool enough. You don't gotta compensate.
We don't care.
Now, just in the nick of time, per usual, as Sean was finishing up, catching up with all the cast, Jasmine walks in.
Hi, everyone.
Wow.
Surprise.
What the?
Now, this was the scene that TLC used to preview the tell-all last week, so I had some time to really sit down and think about it. And I could be wrong, but this might be the angriest and devious Gino I've seen yet. Like, usually he looks like a scared newborn giraffe, but today he looks like an angry, proboscis monkey. Now, just from this scene alone, just the initial impression, it seemed like 90% of the cast did not approve of Jasmine's pregnancy. Like, the guys, most of the guys minus Benny, did not hide their obvious, you know, disdain and disapproval of the situation. Now, the women, in typical women fashion, was very supportive from the front, but when she turned around, they were like, see this? You see this shit?
You are pregnant.
Yes, I am very pregnant.
When are you due?
Prefer not to share. It's like super inner circle.
All right. Do you want to say hi to Gino?
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, that was chilly.
Okay, that was fucking weird.
That was chilly.
So Sean went ahead and just confirmed a couple things that we already knew. One is, of course, Gino's not the father, Matt is.
Are you the father of Jasmine's baby?
You are not!
Then it has to be Matt. Is that right, Jasmine?
Yes.
And two, this was not a planned pregnancy.
Was this a planned pregnancy?
No.
Which really got me thinking, because during the last resort, Gino made it very clear when the rubber meets the road, they had to use rubber. Like, we weren't gonna raw willy this thing.
You'll wear a condom if you have with Jasmine.
Yeah, yep, of course.
Surprise.
So just statistically speaking, most likely at some point, Matt and Jasmine had to have decided that they were just gonna ditch the rubber claws.
Yeah, yep, of course.
Which was my main concern about this whole thing. Is like all these conditions that Gino had listed out, like there's no ground to stand on. Like, how would he have ever known they decided to break condition 1, 2, and 3 until something like this happened? And even so, we can't even say 100% sure that's the case. You know, like the rubber tire could have just...
How do you feel today knowing that she is pregnant with another man's child?
Well, of course, it's heartbreaking. I mean, we were talking about having a child together, but she told me, no, I don't want to have a child with you. And now she's having a child with another man.
Let's not get crazy. Look, so far, I feel like I've been defending Gino here, but let's call a spade a spade. You know, he might have said he wanted a baby, but he wasn't moving like he wanted a baby. Like, let's just keep it a buck. The only reason Jasmine even had an objectively good reason for any of this was because of the fact that Gino wasn't piping her down. Come on, bro. Like, if it wasn't for that, this would have been straight up infidelity.
Florian
Yeah.
and Rob, you both told Gino that he would regret his decision
Yep.
to have an open marriage
Yep.
with Jasmine.
Yep.
Learning what we have just learned, what would you say to Gino?
Played out just like I figured it would. This was all a plan for Jasmine to be able to be with Matt.
Do I have to explain myself to you?
No, you don't have to explain yourself to me.
Yo, what the hell?
No, you don't have to explain yourself to me. Maybe you should explain yourself to the world.
Yo, I can't even lie to you guys. This is an iconic Rob moment. Easily the best part of the tell-all so far. Now, the word is, there was a lot of people that came after Rob for this, called him a racist for mocking her accent, which I don't necessarily agree with. I don't think he was mocking her accent more so than he was just mocking her.
No, you don't have to explain yourself to me.
But apparently it was so bad that he had to come out and make a public apology. That said though, this scene right here really triggered Jasmine, as you could imagine, and things started to really get out of hand at this point. Like, it went from degrading name calling to straight up assault at one point.
You are a cheating wife.
You are a clown.
Yeah, and you're a pregnant
That's
whore.
what you are.
And you're a pregnant whore.
No!
Guys,
It's okay. It's okay. No.
What the is wrong with him? Say it in my face.
I just did.
Shut the up.
You shut the up. You're a whore. You're a whore is what you are.
Lord have mercy. Yo, shout out to the post-editing crew who had to edit in these 50,000 censoring beeps.
You're a whore. You're a whore.
Also seemed like TLC finally upgraded their security because these are some big boys right here. Big boys. Pause. But no, so the scene where Jasmine takes off her heel and throws it at Rob, I don't even think I can even show that scene without YouTube age restricting this video. But basically, she takes off her heel and chucks it at Rob like a little shuriken. Which is assault, Jasmine, an arrestable offense. On the flip side though, I wouldn't want to be the dude to try to aggravate a pregnant woman dealing with a whole bunch of hormones. That's just me though. But I guess somebody had to call her out. Just maybe not use those degrading terms next time, Robbie. And the funniest part to me was probably just Gino in the back.
You're a whore. You're a whore is what you are.
Typical Gino, always acting tough when he's surrounded by security.
Idiot that sell your pictures online, stuffing your ass with plugs, mother. Show the pictures.
I don't support that.
Pictures of Rob selling his. That's the ugliest butt I ever seen in my life. Go and sell your butt pictures online, whore.
Okay.
I think it's funny that Sophie's just sitting here looking all spooked out like, what? I actually thought his butthole was kind of cute. I thought it looked like a little smushed raisin. Like she's literally frozen in time, and then you can just see the security guard like, man, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Like, this was not on the job description. But anyways, if you didn't know, what Jasmine was alluding to was regarding somebody finding out that Rob did gay for pay OnlyFans.
You don't know what the hell's being at the bottom.
Prior to being on the show. And funny enough, I dropped a video on this a couple weeks ago, so for any reason you want to know more about this, there's your answer. But essentially, that's what Jasmine is attacking Rob about, which is fine, but I think there is something to be said about her having this as ammunition prior to even walking on set. And then of course, I don't know how legal it is for her to try to expose Rob's personal content to everybody on set, but above all else, Jasmine, you can't call somebody out for something that you personally do yourself.
There is no throwing anything at each other, and please let us not use language that crosses the line. We can disagree and still be respectful.
What the are you looking at me?
I'm looking at you.
You want to see
I
the videos?
don't care
You
about
wanna
that.
see the videos?
Natalie, you want to call somebody a hooker?
Go and
There's your
sell
hooker.
your butt picture.
That's your hooker.
Go
You walked in and was like,
kissing
I'm
your
pregnant. And all the girls was like,
Yo, Sean just be killing me for no reason, like just her facial expressions.
you walked in and was like, I'm pregnant. And all the girls was like,
And the crazy thing is, you'll still have people in the comments like, oh my god, look at her. Terrible host. And she can't control the cast. Like guys, she's a 60-year-old woman who looks like she weighs 100 pounds soaking wet. Like I don't know if you guys think she's Wonder Woman. I don't know what you guys expect her to do here. And if you really watch closely, anytime anything goes to shit, Sean's like brrr in her earpiece, probably listening to what the production crew is telling her to do. And they're probably like, Sean, just let it happen. Better ratings, more money for you and for me. But anyways, once again, Jasmine decides to put herself and her baby in harm's way, commits another crime, throws another shuriken at Rob. But this time, Rob decides to pick up the heel and take it backstage to essentially do nothing. Do nothing at all.
this goddamn shoe. Right this. So she keep throwing it at me. And I can't do about it. That bitch. Who got a lighter?
So, who got a lighter?
Who got a lighter? You don't know what the hell's being at the bottom of it.
Forget the booty hole videos. This might be the gayest thing I've seen from you, Rob. Like, I don't know if this is more condemning of Rob being gay or this is just a really good shoe ad. You guys let me know. That said, regarding the booty stuff, before he decides to chuck her shoe to who knows where, he does admit in this scene that it was something he was actually doing.
One of my close friends does that online, and we were posting together. My first 10,000 followers on socials were all homosexual.
And look, I'll say this, it's goofy and kind of zesty. Like, you'll never catch me doing this, but it doesn't necessarily make Rob gay. And even if he was, it's not even an insult. Like, I could care less. I mean, you have to put yourself in his heels, right? I mean, the man was living in a cockroach-infested studio, and his only access to a bathroom was a porta potty outside, so... I mean, I can't condemn the man too much. You gotta do what you gotta do, I guess.
You don't know what the hell's being at the bottom of it.
With that being said, this pretty much ends all the madness of part 1. Super stoked to see part 2 tonight. I know there's a lot of doo-doo that's about to go down. I would like to have this video out before then, so there's not gonna be no crazy edits. It's just gonna be straight off the dome. Nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Got a laugh or two out of this. As always, like, comment, subscribe, show your boys some love, and I'll see you guys ASAP for part 2. But hey, what do you wanna know? I'm just sipping.